Hi, this is Cameron. Welcome to Conversion Conversations. And today's video is going to be a little different. I did a short unboxing of the Transformers Haslab Generations Legacy RID2001 Omega Prime. We did identify, just as a recap, I do not have any sort of cracking on the abdomen yet. But before I do the full review, I want to do a video just on the preventative repair that you can do on this figure. I'm going to do it on this guy, and then I'm going to unbox the other one in this video to check to see if that one is cracked. And this is important because one of these two robots in disguise Omega Primes is going to be as part of our Extra Life prizing this year when we do our Extra Life fundraiser for Cincinnati Children's Hospital. So I want to make sure that they're both in as good condition as possible. So normally when I do these, I give away the prizes sealed if I haven't had a reason to open them for my own use. But if it's not like from my personal collection, but in this case, I am going to open the second one and make sure if this is the good one, then this will be the prize. If the other one has a crack, I'll return that one to Hasbro. But if both of them are fine, then the second one will be the prize and I won't mess with it outside of this repair. So I did some reading online and it looks like the issue is this gray T-bar section that slots into his chest. The designers felt there was a need for friction on the chest to hold this bar up, but it seems like in actuality, the toy, whether it's compressed down, it's in its furthest down position, gravity is going to hold it in that position, or if it's up like this in truck mode, it locks in place and it's going to, so it doesn't actually need the friction involved, and the tolerances on the width of this T-section and the ribs inside of the chest are too tight. That causes additional stress on the toy. The other thing that I will check is people were talking about there's batch numbers involved. I'll check and I'll report the batch numbers of both of these toys. But for now, from what I can see, and again, this is me kind of fumbling through my first time, it looks like there's 2 screws here I need to do. And then there are, if I can get around to show it, 2 screws, one at this location and one at this location that I can't get to without undoing the backpack that holds the head. So first thing I'm going to do is it looks like it's all Phillips head, and it looks like if you have this is it doesn't have the size on it, but this is like a laptop tool. It's small enough and it looks like it's going to engage. Yeah. While I'm doing this, I was thinking about live streaming this, but I don't think I have the time during my availability today to actually do the live stream. So this is pre-recorded, so I can take that out. Okay, got a screw on one half, but I can't seem to get the, let's pull, okay. So you can pull that head forward. There we go. Okay, so it looks like that is a really good head sculpt, isn't it? I dig it. I love the metallic eyes. So okay, so it looks like this piece slides in. I would want to, you know what, I can simplify things. So we're learning in the future by undoing this screw. Because I got to put that headpiece back on and I don't want to flex the plastic too much. So this is essentially me wanting to not stress the backpack plastic when I have to put it back on. All right. 3 bolts, all the same size. There we go. Okay, now it'll be much easier to reassemble when it comes time to reassemble. And it doesn't look like I stressed that plastic even though I was flexing it. All right, so we have that section. And I'm gonna put that on top, put it in the corner right here so we don't lose those screws. All right, now that we've got the backpack off, we can see there's a bunch of screws here, but these I don't think will matter. We'll have to see, but it's these 4 here that we're gonna undo. Judging from the state This is the, I guess, second intermediary studio area. I need to, I guess I'm going to show real quick. I've got a soft light here. I've got a soft light here. But I do have enough room now that I can actually do 3 soft lights. And then I've got this guy over here for some hard lighting. And then up above, I've got my LED bright lights. So this is obviously, I haven't packed much away yet. But work's been busy, and the important thing is that I've got recording space. So my plan is to continue to do Transformers reviews while we get the rest of the house ready, and then I want to do a live stream when I'm putting all the toys back on the shelves and cleaning them and stuff. I figure that's like a chill stream just to come hang out with me while I do that. People have been curious about the collection. And I really like these Craftsman screws because it's got a separate handle from, if you notice, like I can put force down on it and then twirl as needed. And I am a fan of manual tools. I've got like an electronic drill and stuff, but with toys like this, I just worry about stripping. I think it's, I say that as I feel this slip. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm getting, I know this is off camera, but I just want to make sure I'm not stripping the bolt. That would make things infinitely more complex. All right. One out, putting it over here. That was this guy there that I was worried about. But yeah, I haven't actually done much with Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime yet. I figured this is like the first thing I should do before I fuck with anything else. So my actual review will be next week. All right. 3 bolts and just this last one. Not yet. Come on. You stubborn bastard. It's loose. I don't think it's like connecting it anymore. And then this piece sits on top. So no, I got to do 6. All right, I got to do 6. I'm learning. We're learning as we go. And I think I 100% did the wrong bolts earlier, I'm realizing. Oh. All right. That's out. Oh, that one's shorter. All right, good to know. That's for the gray piece. I like pointed out the right ones, and then I immediately did the wrong ones. There we go. All right, so now can I lift this piece out? Awesome. Okay, so this whole assembly is just attached by those 2 screws. I'm going to put these 2 bolts back in because I'm an idiot and I didn't need to take those out. Those were not relevant. Right, there we go. The balance, work, life, hobbies, relationships. All right. Can I get you out now? Please. There we go. All right, so this is part of this assembly. Those 3 bolts go over here. Got to keep track. These small ones go with the arms. And then I just got to get these. And shout out, I do need to shout out the person on the TFW 2005 forums that shared this fix, because super helpful. It obviously doesn't help people whose Optimus Prime was cracking like right out of the box. But giving a chance for people to fix it, like obviously the ideal situation is, you know, Hasbro makes it fucking right in the first place. That is what you want to have happened. But there we go. If that's not the case, then you know, it's nice that we can fix it, because I just, again, unfortunate, I don't trust Hasbro's customer service. So what the issue is, if I can get this, both pieces here. So this gray piece makes too much contact with too much force on these ribs on either side here. You can, in fact, if you look closely, can I get it on camera? You can see there that white line, like there's stress marks there. Doesn't look like there's significant stress marks on this side. But essentially, this stress mark here is a good thing in this case. What that means is my toy didn't crack the chest because that location, the corner, was a stress concentration point. That flexed before my chest cracked. You obviously don't want that stress mark. You want everything to work fine by design. But in this case, I think it prevented my abdomen from cracking. So the fix is simple. We're just going to sand down here. And like I said, this sits in two positions. It can like come down here. And when it's down here, it's locked. And it's fine. It doesn't need that friction. But if it goes if it goes up, it's going to be like in this position with the truck stuff. It doesn't need those that friction either. So the solution here is just to sand these down. And as I say that, I realize I forgot my sandpaper. I got to go find it in a box. All right, so first off, shout out to Option Zero on the TFW 2005 forum. Option Zero is the one that identified the problem. I took things apart the first time, shared the fix, shared pictures and instructions, super helpful. What I don't have, I've got 80 grit sandpaper. This is very, very coarse. What you want to do is sand down both sides here. And for smoothness of operability, you're going to start at a low coarse or a high coarseness, low grit, and then go to a high grit, low coarseness. I'm just going to show this version because I had the other sandpapers somewhere in one of the other moving boxes. But we're essentially, we're just going to sand the sides here, and then we're going to do fit checks to make sure that everything fits in place. But it's a simple process. I've got a bowl underneath to catch the bits. You know, I don't want to fuck up my sheet, which is also going to change. Probably not till like August, but we're in the process of doing some Arbitrary Hero like brand refresh stuff. Paying an artist for a new logo, and we're going to try and make things even so that it doesn't rattle too much. You know, with that, I'd like to get kind of a nicer background, and I might also invest in a light box. I've got a list of upgrades that I'd like to do. Camera, my microphone. It's an exciting year, along with the new house, which we've been really enjoying our neighborhood. Hannah has been making friends with all the neighbors. I'm hoping to introduce myself this weekend. Just haven't been able to while I was at work. Okay, so with that, we're gonna... So simple check to see how much friction is still there. It's still a little bit, so I'm gonna go just a little more. I've been sanding it's been less than 5 minutes, but I want to show, like, this is what we want from the fit check. So now I'm done with the 800 grit. I've taken off material. Now it's just about smoothing out this joint. All right, now that we have things sanded down and smoothed, we can put this piece back on, and we're gonna start screwing in our screws. We wanna do, one more time. The top ones first. And I like to, this is a personal habit of mine, I don't wanna screw any one screw down too tight. I'm screwing them I'm screwing the bolts in enough, but as soon as they give me resistance, I'm going to stop and then I'm going to tighten them together. So for these two, I'm tightening things up before I put on the backpack piece. And these two I'm going to put in, but I'm going to wait until I put in that backpack piece. And here's something we can check. You'll notice there is a bit of wiggle room. But once we go down into robot mode, because of the position this takes, there's not really any wiggle room at this position. And this position with all the other truck stuff will lock in nicely. So again, it's not a huge concern on if you take off too much material. The risk would be if you take off enough material that it doesn't engage here and it slides out. But that would be a... I mean, you're taking off a lot at that point, so no worries there. But with that in place, we can put on his arms, and we want to open them up, stick them in, and wrap them around like so. All right. And then we've got the backpack pieces. So this piece is going to go in first. Oh. Maybe it goes. This is going on. Then this piece goes through. There we go. And then this piece comes in. Make sure we got everything lined up. And hopefully this has demonstrated that this is a very simple fix. Even me, who, I'm an idiot, I was able to do it. There was no real risk of breaking anything. Honestly, the biggest risk is just if you were like me and you're an idiot, you might try and pull this backpack apart before you get all the screws out. So it's these 3 screws that we want to get out. I guess they're not bolts, they're just flathead screws because they don't have nut plate. Like a bolt needs a nut, right? Like that's a, you don't bolt in without a nut on the other side. So these are screws, they're just flat screws. The contact point doesn't determine what the hardware is, right? It would be its configuration. All right. Tightened. And tightened. I think, yeah, those are nice and tight already. Just want to make sure because I did actually take them off. And these, everything's tightened up. And here is Optimus Prime, Fire Convoy, and he doesn't have a crack in his chest piece. So the last thing, I know this is already a long video. The last thing I want to do, okay, so with Optimus Prime Fire Convoy all done, the next thing to do is to check the other Omega Prime. So Omega Prime number 2. And this time, I don't want to mess with anything because this is a prize for extra life. I just want to take out Optimus Prime as I immediately crack the packaging. All right. Hopefully we can see. All right. We got Optimus Prime number 2. I'm trying not to mess with the packaging too much. We just gotta open him up. Leave that. This is, come on. There we go. I do have to take this piece off, and then we can open things up. Okay. And, so this is why, you can see right there, this is why we do that preventative fix if we can. This one is already cracked. So this one will be my Omega Prime. I will reach out to Hasbro customer support about the replacement. I'm not going to do the fix. If it's already cracked, there's no point in doing the fix, and then I can swap this one out. So the other one will eventually be added to our Extra Life prizes for Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I will use that one as the review. I'm just going to put this back in the box. And I think that is everything for today's video. So you saw the fix. You saw why we want to do the fix. You saw that we can actually get Omega Primes that aren't cracked. But it's kind of a quality crapshoot, unfortunately. It is, you know, it seems to be a luck of the draw. If you are curious about where the date code is on the box, it looks like this is it right here, V2967B, maybe 50721. So I'm going to reach out to Hasbro customer support about this. Hopefully it sounds like they are looking to, for us to send back the broken Omega Primes, and they'll replace them for us, which I appreciate, but it is a shame. This doesn't feel like quality control. It's a design error. The T-block was designed, this section was designed too wide. There's too much interference, or maybe the ribs were designed too narrow. There's just too much stress in the part. So that's it for the look. We'll do a proper review next week. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you all later. Bye.